Good morning, good afternoon and good evening. It's Lee from Magnetic North Adventures. And today I'm going to be doing a personal walk around tour of Chesterfield, Derbyshire, and I'm going to show you some of the buildings, some of the history and some of the features within the Chesterfield area. It's not all going to be town centre, there is going to be some areas outside the town centre, but it is all going to be Chesterfield. So hope you're all well and I hope you enjoy this particular adventure. So town centre, marketplace, got this lovely old building, and it's now a cafe, and it's a medieval house, possibly the old Guildhall. And there's the information board from 1500, quite possibly from the 1400s. And that stands here in Chesterfield all these years still later, made of wood and bits of plaster. It's a lovely building. So here in Chesterfield we've got the early English bowling green, possibly from the 13th century, and that all happened just down there where we can't see, but a bowling green is just a flat piece of grass where bowls were played, a very famous British game, and the Chesterfield Bowling Club flag. So yeah, it just shows that how much history has gone on in this area. We've got a steakhouse over there and a bike in the window just there. This is part of the town, and down here, so you've got these buildings down here, just there. These are classic Victorian British buildings from the 1800s. So the style of the buildings are done in the style of the 13 to 1600s. They are later buildings, but we've got another steakhouse there, the Galleon, and over there again we've got more of the black and white style buildings, again in the Tudor sort of style. And we've got a chandler's bar over that way. We've got an antiques and collectibles area down that way, and that is the Lucky Magpie. And then just up there we've got the Crooked Spire, Chesterfield's own parish church. So you can see it's lovely old buildings. Again, we've got one there, used to be I&F Dunnell's Wholesale and Retail, and that used to be Wine Spirit Merchants, 1854. It's now a carpet shop. That's the town centre area. Carvings. And then also in this area you've actually got coins and things in the floor, which can be seen here. Colliery tokens, badges, coins, just as nostalgia. More badges, things like that. Coffee shops and general things. This is walking down towards where the main heart of Chesterfield town is, and the market area, and it goes into an area also where there were skirmishes again with the previous two battles in 1266 and 1643 during civil wars. And there's also a very early pub, which is what I'm going to show you in a moment. So this area called the Yards, quite important, and we've got a bit of a history board. So it shows what it would all look like. Just there. And to there. And as you can see, that's the yard entrance there. As you come up this area, this is the shambles, and this in the middle is where the drainage runs. But this was a very busy medieval area. We've got a lucky surviving relic from the time, the Royal Oak. And that's the Royal Oak there. So Chesterfield's oldest pub, built in the 12th century, the oldest inn in Chesterfield and one of the oldest in England. It was formerly a rest house for the Knights Templar in the years of the Holy Crusades. Then through and after the medieval period, it was used as 2 butcher shops and inn accommodation. The earliest record shown it already being an inn in 1722. But this building, this very building, is a very early survivor, and you can see how old the woodwork is, and that has survived the 1266 battle in the town, and it's survived the English Civil War as well. It's a lovely building, some original features on it as well, old lamps, things like that. If only these walls could talk, the stories that they'd tell. And yes, this all used to be where the shambles were, a very busy area back in the day. So we've got the shambles, a bit of history on the area, a drawing of the town plan, city walls, town walls, more history, how the shops used to look selling the foods, and how people used to look like. Bit more history there. And yeah, that's how it was in 1637. So all this area here in the town walls, these were the areas that were attacked and where the royalists and parliamentarians fought, and they would have gone through these very streets here as well. And again, you've got the Tudoric style buildings. It's up there. And again, this is the feature of Chesterfield, the black and white buildings up there. And this is Knifesmith Gate, formerly where knives and that would have been made, finished and polished. The church in the background up there. We've got the Methodist church here, and a memorial on there, 1852. Tablet was removed from the old primitive Methodist chapel on Beatwell Street, 1889. But we've got a lovely building there. It is still in use. Old buildings on Salter's Gate. Lovely carvings up at the top. Got Glooman Gate down there, and then you've got these big Victorian buildings, again from the 1800s. Again on Saltergate. Got a town hall over there as well. And over that way is over towards Matlock and Derbyshire. Now there is actually a museum in the town, and it has items going all the way back to the Roman period that was actually found within this area. And Chesterfield was a very, very popular place, and its main production in the early days was pottery. And it used to make a famous type of pottery called Brampton pottery, and that was made certainly in the 1800s and the 1900s. There are still factories at least until the 1970s making Brampton pottery, and I don't know when that actually closed down, but that's modern history. And there is another site that I'd like to show you, so I'll take you down there as well so you can see that one as well. So this is one of the local made art sculptures, and you've got another one just there as well, and that one tells you a little about it there, so we'll just zoom in so you can see what that is. There we go. So the town has got a lot of industrial heritage as well. There was George Stephenson, the railway engineer and famous designer of the rocket train, steam train. And there is a grave in the town to that very man, George Stephenson. I haven't actually got up to that particular area today, but there are photographs and most likely videos online as well of that particular monument. Again, there's a lovely church up there from the 1800s as well. Where I'm going now is a place called Queen's Park, and here they used to have a very early cycle and motor racing track that went around the edge of the park. You had bandstands where live music would have been played. Fairgrounds used to congregate at this particular park, and it's got some old boating lakes as well, and lots of nature and trees and places to sit at as well, and a few cafes. There was once swimming pools, indoor ones, down at this location, but sadly they are no more. And I'll show you the area from the bridge so that you can see at a better advantage point. So you've got the large boating lake, and you've got bandstand in this area. You've got a miniature railway that goes around. There's the train down there today. Cafes, things like that. That's where the cricket matches take place, in the town down there. And this side track is where all the racing used to take place. Cycles and motorbikes. And it's still used currently today for cycling. And yeah, there's where the bandstand used to be is down that way, and there's another one over this way as well. So yes, this round ring here, that is where all the races used to take place back in the 1920s, 30s. The Canadian geese are here, and the ducks. Just here. You do see swans on there as well, and other wildlife. There we go. You do have lots of flowers as well, which is always nice to see. Different types of trees. You've got another one of the stands here, and in the past people would congregate here just simply to view this pond, this boating lake, all down here. And just over there we've actually got the miniature railway train and the little station. Just zoom in a bit more. So there we are. It's all getting cleaned up, ready so that people can go on the miniature railway. So we've got trees starting to flower. We've got the beautiful pinks and whites, and the greens coming out now. We're in springtime. Got bumblebees down there. We've got beautiful bluebell flowers just there. This is the back of the boating lake, and then you've got all these flower gardens in here. You've still got a few daffodils. You've got some beautiful flowers here, just there. And there's a sign here that tells you about the old rose garden. So let's zoom in so you can see that. There we go. It's a peaceful area. These bushes and trees, they're flowering nicely as well. Got ladybird in there. We're coming up to an area that is actually quite historically important, and it's an area where cannons were made, and quite possibly cannons shot as well. And the particular building dates from 1816. This here is the remains of the water wheel and the water wheel pit, and that used to turn and basically provide power for the mill itself, which is here. Now it's a very early brick built building, and it is not in use at the moment, but hopefully it will be renovated. Up there we've got the sign 1816 showing the cannon and the cannonballs. Now if you look at the style, it's very similar to the type of cannon that Nigel of North Hants Magnet Fishing found over in Sheffield. Chesterfield is less than 15 miles away from where that was found. So who knows, that cannon could well have originally been made in a factory similar to this one. And we've got the sign there. So there we are, one of the oldest industrial buildings in Chesterfield and district, having been erected prior to 1788. It formed part of the Griffin Foundry or the John and Ebenezer Smith and Company, 1775 to 1833. So it's in a building like that where Nigel's cannon was actually made, and hashtag it's a Northants thing, because they found a cannon very much like this one. There have been others found, but that was the only known British one of this time period in that area. And that was found in an area known nowadays as Cannon Bridge, Sheffield, which has been termed by the magnet fishing community. And also known as the Fireworks Bridge. So, as we were talking about cannons and that type of things, it was a pleasure to be there to help Ray and Dave. I never thought I'd see it again. And just a few months later, the Northants magnet fishing team, they managed to also get a cannon the same day I was there. Seen that come out, and that came out with help from the Peaky Dippers using their boat to get that out. So that's two of the cannons that I actually witnessed get found. And now you can see the sort of buildings that they actually came from, where they were made, places like that. And that's two pieces of history that I never ever believed I'd ever see found. And no, still to this day, it's mind-blowing. You just never know what's out there, you never know what's in the waters. So my advice, if you get an area that provides metal, keep going, keep cleaning up the environment, because one day there could be something very, very interesting turn up. And even if there isn't, you're doing a very, very good, grand job of cleaning the environment. And that's the most important thing. Treasures, relics, history, that's a bonus. But ideally, we want the waterways clean. And to all the magnet fishing community out there, you're all helping to do that. So take my hat off to you all, and just gonna say, keep up the good work. So today's channel shout out is going to go to the Bad Idea Lab with Joe O'Rea and Holly. And the shout out is to them because of all the Tudor style buildings within this area. So please go like, subscribe and comment to that channel. It is a variety channel. There's magnet fishing, taste testing of products, there's adventures, there's general history. There's a lot of things on there. There's coins, coin stacking. It's a very interesting channel and well worth a watch. So please go and show Joe and Holly some love, and click like, subscribe and comment on the page. They will appreciate it, and they always like to know what you think as well. So that's today's shout out, the Bad Idea Lab. So I'm coming outside of town centre area and the immediate area of the things I wanted to show you. Chesterfield is an area that goes all the way back to the Romans with documented history. It has got a lot of history. There's many more buildings and architecture, places that you could see, things that you could do, but I haven't got the time to do everything. I'm just here to show you my personal view of walking around the town and to give you a glimpse of what the town is like with a bit of the history, in case you're ever in the area, in case you ever wondered what it's like. You now know. So I hope you all enjoyed this particular video, and until the next adventure, which is going to be a magnet fishing video, I'm going to sign off. So again, don't forget to like, subscribe and comment, and don't forget to remember, even small towns, they've got lots of history, and that goes from cloth making through to heavy industry, through to making simple things like drainage covers in metal, and former brickworks with town names on, bricks that were made to build the towns up. And a lot of that now is long forgotten history, but again, important to remember what was around and what could potentially still be around. So until the next adventure, and that's very soon, bye for now everyone.